his house, himself and the family were under constant threat of Serbian paramilitary groups, because Adem Yashari was one of the founders of Kosovo Liberation Army and one of the commanders in the Kosovo Liberation Army. Him and his family, in a way or another, they were all contributing to the cause of how to say, of the Kosovo liberation, and were under constant threat from the complex memorial. You could see that the complex is comprised of the cemetery where around 60 bodies of Yashari families are buried there. It is the house up there that we could now see from the close distance how it was attacked and how it was damaged during the threats. Now they developed a museum where you could get information about what happened, how it happened, and personal belongings of Yashari family. And up on the hill you have the bunker that served to Yashari, his father and his brothers to shelter when they felt like they were under constant threat from the Serbian paramilitary groups. As the guide of the memorial explained to us a couple of times, the attack started from that point up there. There's a munition factory and sniper troops, sniper elites were standing there, and the house was being monitored for a long time. So two young guys that came from Yashari family noticed some movement on this area, and then they started resisting using the gun that they had. So basically that is the first exchange of fire between Yashari family members and Serbian paramilitary groups. Then as the tanks and as the military was approaching further, the Yashari family was moving more and more closely to the family. So then as if we imagine an attack would happen, so all sorts of munitions were thrown to the Yashari family. The grenades were most fatal one that killed women and children and all the Yashari family members. And as I mentioned, only one little girl that on that time was 6 years old, I think she survived. She survived hiding in this basket where they used to keep the floor. So she hid there and they could not find it. She was found after international communities who were present here were monitoring the situation on the ground. After they saw the massacre, they started looking for the house. They found this girl. So the first time we get a story about what happened here is from this girl, from Besarta. She's now grown up. Very recently she had an interview also with BBC. Many people asked me the question, like when women of the house were asked, you know, what would you do if something like that happened, they would say that we don't need our lives if we don't have our men, so we will be there to support them. So the people and the witnesses tell that the women in the house were helping Adem Yashari and his brothers who were fighting from inside with munition. Yeah, today this village, this complex memorial has great significance in the modern history of Kosovo. People come here to celebrate the sacrifice of Yashari family in the efforts of state building and liberation, and is considered as one of the highest figures in the Kosovo resistance efforts from the last war in Kosovo. This place is called Gazimestan. Gazi in Turkish means hero, and Mestan, which is a word for Meydan, and Meydan means a place. Basically, the literal translation for it would be the place of heroes. This monument was built on 1953, immediately after the end of basically Second World War, and it was built with a purpose to commemorate the Kosovo battle that took place on 1389. The inscriptions are known as the Curse of Kosovo, and it is of epic Serbian poetry when they sing to the Kosovo battle. And it is a very, I find it a bit disturbing because it curses everyone who does not join the battle, the Kosovo battle. Whoever is a Serb and of Serb birth and of Serb blood and heritage and comes not to fight at Kosovo, may he never have progeny born from love, neither son nor daughter. May nothing grow that his hand sows, neither red wine nor white wheat. And may he be dying in filth as long as his children are alive. This is the Kosovo. This is the Kosovo curse. So here we have Tsar Lazar, King Lazar, who was fighting against Sultan Murati. So both had armies within themselves. And the battle took place in this field that you see. Serbian part was positioned on that side, and the Ottoman part was positioned in this side. But here the inscriptions, as I said, were put after the memorial was basically erected. And it is a collection of epic Serbian poetry that talk about Kosovo battle look like. And I will read that for you. So this is now it starts like 15 days through Murad's hordes. Murad is the Ottoman Empire's leader. 15 days through Murad's hordes, I wandered, but I could not find an end or limit. From Mramor right to Suvi Javor. Mramor is a place and Suvi Javor is another place. And from Javor right to Sazlija, from Sazlija to the bridge of Chemer, and from Chemer to the fortress of Zvečan, and from Zvečan right away to Chechan, and from Chechan up above the mountains stand the Turks in serried ranks together. So basically it is describing how crowded it was, the space with Ottoman troops, by mentioning names. And it says also Zvečan. Zvečan is in Mitrovica. Basically, it's some 40 minutes away from here. So basically, it's like an illustration of how many Turks there were in the battle. It says, horses side by side, all heroes aligned. Their lances are like trunks of forest trees. Their banners are like endless sailing clouds, and all their tents are like the drifting snows. And if from heaven a heavy rain should fall, then not a single drop would even touch the earth. But on all goods, heroes, and horses, Murad fell upon the plain of Mazgid, where we grains of salt instead of warriors, yet we could not salt that army's dinner. So the obelisk, it is 22 meters tall, and it has 3 concrete spheres. Each of them represents one community, Albanian, Montenegrin, and Serbian. And below, those images represent the struggle of partisans against the Nazi regime. It is positioned in between the parliament of Kosovo and the municipality of Pristina. Otherwordly, it is known, with other words, it's known as the triangle. This is how people in Pristina talk about it.
It was a Friday. Friday, it's an important day for Muslims. And they have built a pulpit and they have together minbar. And they have together prayed the Friday prayer of the Psalms. So every single photograph from here is from 1911. And these are the Albanians, which, by the way, even today, Albanians have such tradition. It doesn't matter if it's a funeral or wedding, when a guest are arriving, they're gonna wait for you, something like
They greet you.
Yeah, or the right hand